The Queensland Improved Production Championship is proudly brought to you by motorsportlife.com.au and Yokohama Tyres. And we're here at the first round of 2017 at the Morgan Park Raceway in Warwick. We've got some familiar faces returning this year, which is great to see. Should be a great turnout. And it looks like we're even going to have some great weather over the weekend as well. Some patches of overcast here and there, but we'll see how we go. So before we jump into the races, let's have a quick look at how everyone did in the qualifying round. So at the fastest time, we had number 6, Jason Clements, Troy Marinelli, Jason Grimman, Peter Lettuce. Number 46 was Kyle, followed by Gregory Hartnett, Adam Ubergang, number 117 Ashley Hooper, followed by Justin Anthony and David Homer rounding out the top 10. Alright, so let's take a look at some highlights from the first race of the weekend. So Jason Clements, number 6, getting out right in front at the start of the race. Great to see getting ahead of the pack. And then here on one of the early turns we had what could have been a bit of trouble for some of the races, but some saves there. Further along into the race, we had David making some great passes throughout the race. Really one to watch through over the course of the weekend, making some great moves, finding every chance he can along the track to pass those in front of him, making some great track. Justin here now with a little bit of room behind him. We've got Adam following close behind, sneaking up, trying to get a bit closer there, ready to make any effort he can to get around him. Losing that opportunity. And then here on this bend, skirting very close to the wall, trying to find any pass through, trying to find just enough room to get by there, but doesn't seem to be able to follow through with it. Unlucky on that turn. And now here we've got Waldon, which really gives a great example of how just even the smallest patch of grass or debris on the field can really put a dent in a race's time. Here we have him turning out of control from one little patch, with having to make some quick recovery. And now here we are back with Marinelli finishing up race 1 for the weekend. So now taking a look at the results for race 1, holding first place from the start of the clips there was Jason Clements coming through with a time of 11 minutes and 21 seconds, followed by Adam Ubergang, Troy Marinelli, Justin Wade, followed very closely by Jason Grimman, Kyle Organ-Moore, Gregory Hartnett, Ashley Hooper, Royce Gregson, and rounding it out at place number 10, Peter Lettuce. Jumping in now to the highlights of the second race of the weekend. We had a pretty cluttered start at the start of the race with not much room to maneuver around these first corners. Here we have number 19 struggling to find any passageway through, just having to wait it out. Here we go under the bridge pass. Some gaps emerging on the left side there, but then working down that stretch, everyone across the track there, having to just follow through. Now we jump to Simon here, further up in the pack, making his way through on the next laps. Behind a couple of cars here, not much room to get through. Tackling the turn very well. Oh, bit of a bump there, sends him onto the grass. Quick recovery there and back on track. Only losing a bit of time there. Good recovery. And making around that turn well, making up for that lost time. Jump over here. We have another one, hitting a bit of the grass, turning out of control onto the grass. Bit of a tricky recovery here. He's going to have to work it when getting back on the track to get up to where he was. Over to Troy now, coming up the straight. Bit of room now between him and those ahead. But here we have Kyle sneaking up right beside and making it past him just there before the first turn. We've got Justin following closely behind Troy, not letting up, keeping him right in his sights. Here it almost seems like Kyle's going to get ahead, but Troy keeping on him. handling those turns well, not giving each other much room, or maintaining very good speeds. Justin trying to find any room to get by before the turn. Over to Simon, coming around the turn, making good progress through the track. Going through the underpass underneath the bridge. Ooh, nearly a bit of a spill there, but good recovery. Good attention on the road. Nearly making it by that turn. Around for the next one, finding any advantage possible. Coming very close. Adam Ubergang coming in at first place with 11 minutes and 24 seconds, followed by Kyle Uganmore, Troy Marinelli, Justin Wade. Coming a bit behind there, Ashley Hooper, Graham Wilkinson, Gregory Hartnett, Simon O'Dell Fontana, Peter Lettuce, and coming in 10th place, Royce Gregson. Now over to the highlights of race 3 from the weekend. Now, the first 2 races we had on the first day were pretty smooth sailing, as far as we could tell. But it was the start of the second day, race 3 here, that things started to get a bit interesting with some of the races. So here we had Kyle and Adam really neck and neck, looking at the back of Justin's rear cam. Neck and neck, trying to get ahead of each other, and then one of these early turns a bit too tight, causing a bit of a spill, with a lot of cars in the pack having to build up and do some quick recovery on the grass there. So I'm going in quite far, coming back quite fast to get back on track. Bit of a replay here through the front cam of Hartnett's. You can see cars going up off 2 wheels, onto the grass, quickly making it back to the track. I'll slow it down again. Great footage there from Hartnett, showing exactly what happened. Over to Simon now. Well after the pile up from the start, making it through the straight. David sneaking up in front, taking that position. Simon now fighting to stay right behind, regain that place. Very tight through the underpass there under the bridge. For any moment to get ahead there. Coming very close, making it just through. And skipping over to David's cam. Getting straight up, very close there. Making some quick handling on those turns. Making sure not to lose any distance away from those in front. Very tight again, heading up around the bend. Spreading out, ready for those turns, battling it out, finding any room there. David behind, creeping up as fast as he can, make sure to come back and handle on those turns well. Over to Gregory now, following Jeffrey very close behind. With Scott there, trying to keep him by. Jeffrey now making it by. Scott giving up his position in the herd. Over to Marinelli, number 18, coming up the straight for a solid place at second behind Clements. Bit of a happy fist bump there. Proud of his achievements. Some great efforts on the track there, considering the messy start we had. Oh, and a thumbs up to Clements. Some great sportsmanship there. Both should be very proud for them to come in where they did. Now let's take a look at the results for race 3. So like I mentioned before, Jason Clements there coming in first place with a time of 14 minutes and 9 seconds, followed by Troy Marinelli. Then a bit of a considerable gap there with Jason Grimman coming in at third place, Justin Wade, David Waldon, Ashley Hooper, Graham Wilkinson, Simon Odell Fontana, Gregory Hartnett, and 10th place, David Homer. So over to the final race of the weekend, race 4 on the second day. So now after a bit of exciting third race with a couple of doozies there, race 4 proved to be a little bit more relaxed. But even though we had relaxed, very relaxed clear skies, a few races had to use their wipers there. So Marinelli keeping quite close behind, utilising those wipers, keeping right on his tail. Up and around the bend, we have a few following up behind. Like I mentioned before, race 4 proved to be quite the opposite to race 3. Here we have quite a steady progression of the races coming around the bends in a very orderly fashion. Cutting over to Walden now, falling close behind up the straight. We head under the overpass, quite tight there with a few of the other races. Trying to gain any advantage there. Up and around and making great advantage of that turn there. Taking that position. Following through, keeping ahead. Cutting now to an action shot of Marinelli. Really giving any newcomers to the events a really great glimpse at just how locked in the races are for that concentration required for these races, for anything that could go wrong, and finding those advantages where they can get ahead. Heading around the course to wrap up the final race of the weekend we had, race 4. Coming up around the bend, still a steady progression of the cars throughout the herd. Heading up now through the straight. Some quick responses there. What could have been some any turns now following up to the straight. Now let's check out the results. So coming in at first place, we had David Waldon with a time of 14 minutes and 11 seconds. Followed very closely by Justin Wade, Kyle Organ-Moore, Troy Marinelli, Jason Grimm and Ashley Hooper, Gregory Hartnett, Simon Odell Fontana, Timothy Hill, and in 10th place, David Homer. And now, heading over to the pit to have a quick chat with Waldon.
Yeah, thanks guys. I had a fantastic last race, starting 5th on the grid, managed to make my way through to the front. Very trying weekend, but all the other competitors were fantastic and no rubbing or anything like that, so I had a great time.
So that's all we have for the first round of 2017 at Morgan Park Raceway in Warwick. We hope you've enjoyed the highlights and we hope to see you at one of the next rounds coming up. Next one along is at the Queensland Raceway in July, and of course, proudly brought to you by motorsportlife.com.au and Yokohama Tyres.